It's a new week, ladies and gentlemen.
That it is.
And this is the first installment this week. And it was a show that had more disqualifications and wonky endings than Cubone has mommy issues. This is the Raw Review.
Welcome. Let's talk about the matches that happened.
Please do.
Yeah, lots of disqualifications, lots of weird shit. We had John Cena defeat Xavier Woods by disqualification. We had the New Day defeat the Dudleys and John Cena. We had Big Show defeat Mark Henry.
By disqualification.
We had Team Bella defeat Team PCB. We had the Wyatt family defeat the Primetime Players. We had Neville defeat Stardust by disqualification. We had Randy Orton defeat Bo Dallas. We had Kevin Owens defeat Rusev by disqualification. And Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns went to a countout. So, we opened up, John Cena came out, the return of the US Open Challenge.
Which is the one thing I was supremely happy about Cena winning the United States Championship back.
And what could make it better than have it be accepted by the New Day?
Yeah, the whole New Day.
Big
John
E-
Cena had to fight 24 hours.
That took me a second, but okay. Big E had a brand new introduction saying that Cena's title reign has been booty.
So he had to lose his title like it was his duty.
Like it was his John Duty. And then they decided that it would be Xavier Woods who would be accepting the challenge against John Cena. They didn't do a whole lot in this match.
No,
because it was just kind of there to be a wonky ending.
a lot of unique moves from Xavier Woods, though, that you don't see on Monday Night Raw on a weekly basis.
Because Xavier Woods doesn't get in the ring very often. He's usually on the outside playing his trombone.
We saw Soul Food. We saw kneeling flatliner.
Yes.
Did one other one that I don't remember what it is now.
Yeah. The top rope DDT.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ended up having to go it alone because Kofi and Big E ended up getting too involved and got ejected.
Like right at the beginning.
Yeah. And Cena wasn't having it. Cena was getting pretty aggressive. He started the whole match with a giant clothesline and just knocked the shit out of Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready. But John Cena was about to win. He ended up hitting another clothesline and was probably going to set up for the AA. But Kofi and Big E came out. It became a triple beatdown on John Cena. Dudley Boys made the save. And we got trippy-longed into a six-man tag team match where we still didn't get a whole lot happening in this match.
No. I liked the psychology behind this match, though, because the New Day focused on John Cena.
Yeah, Cena having already wrestled the match.
Yeah, the guy who wrestled, so obviously he's going to be the weak link of the three.
Yeah.
Which is, I liked because you don't see Cena play the guy who gets beat down in the tag team match very often.
Yeah, and he's usually the guy who makes the save and sets up for the end.
Yeah, but that was Devon this time.
Yeah, Devon got the hot tag. He went on a little run against Xavier Woods. Kofi Kingston ended up getting tagged in, and then there was a whole. Devon ended up hitting his reverse neck breaker from the top rope on Kofi.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they were getting ready to set up for the 3D, but Cena had already been taken out, and Bubba ended up getting pulled out of the ring by Xavier Woods, distracting Devon enough to allow Kofi Kingston to hit Trouble in Paradise and pin Devon Dudley for the win.
Yeah.
So,
some momentum on the side of the New Day going into their Madison Square Garden title defense.
yes, that'll be this Saturday on the WWE Network.
Live. Only on the WWE Network.
Yes.
For $9.99.
Or free if you start now. Then we had...
Can we just say, like, free month if you start whenever?
yeah.
Because that seems to be...
It's free for a month or $9.99 if you decide not to be a cheap bastard. Then we find out that there's been an anonymous complaint against Kane. Stephanie and Triple H have brought in Ashley from the HR department.
That's human resources.
Yes. Saying that
Not horse rights.
someone feels that Kane is making WWE a unsafe working environment. So she is there to assess the job that Kane does as director of operations.
And Stephanie's like, yeah, Kane, so you better take this seriously because, your job could be on the line. And Kane was distraught because he takes his role as director of operations extremely seriously.
Yeah, I mean he's got a mug that says greatest director of operations. So obviously he does a good job.
Yeah, and you know who else was distraught about this was Seth Rollins.
Yeah, he couldn't believe that someone would complain about the way Kane runs things as far as
well, I mean,
directing operations.
And he was so upset that the person did it anonymously instead of face to face with Kane himself.
But Kane assured him to not worry because he is the guy who is well versed in what did he call
Conflict resolution.
Conflict resolution. Thank you very much. So he was happy to spend the night with Ashley, who was a very attractive woman.
I'd spend the night with Ashley.
I bet you would. So would that referee. We'll get to that. We'll get to that when we get to that part. But yeah,
I bet the referee did.
Probably because they disappeared. Kane will be assessed as far as his job is throughout the night. We have Roman Reigns. We find out that Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt are going to be our main event. This is going to be one-on-one. Roman has decided to leave Dean Ambrose, and he's requested that Bray Wyatt leave Braun Strowman and Luke Harper. Roman is ready to finish it. He wants to end this. Dean doesn't think it's a good idea, but he says, you know what, if they come out, if the... What did he call them? The two swamp monkeys.
Swamp monkeys?
Or swamp apes or something like that.
You know what phrase I miss?
Swamp booty.
Swamp booty.
Swamp booty. That's a New Day thing.
Yeah, it's going to be New Day now. It's the New Day ever faced the Wyatt.
He says, if the big swamp apes end up, running down to ringside, he's going to be running out there, swinging for the fences. And Roman says...
I think he said he's going to fly down there, actually.
Yeah. And Roman says...
That'd be impressive.
Well, if anyone in WWE is going to fly, I'd say Dean Ambrose. And Roman actually says that, I bet Randy Orton wouldn't mind helping you.
And Bray didn't seem... Or Dean... Bray? Well, I bet Bray didn't think it was a good idea either.
No.
But Dean didn't think it was a good idea.
No. After the whole Jericho situation at Night of Champions, he's like,
He's
I don't
really
know about
iffy.
that. But then Orton ended up coming in and goes, no, Dean, finish. And he goes, well, I don't really trust it. And Orton pretty much says that if Roman doesn't finish Bray Wyatt tonight, that it's open season on the Wyatts, and Randy Orton's going to get him some because he still needs revenge for being attacked before Night of Champions.
Yeah.
So, a lot weighing on the shoulders of Roman Reigns. We had Big Show defeat Mark Henry. They started off real heavy against each other.
Yeah, this was the fastest I've seen these two move at the same time.
In the same match?
Yeah, I was slightly worried that Earth's gravitational pull was going to move off its axis.
Like, Henry was very aggressive and went right at Big Show. Like, they immediately just ran at each other when the bell rang.
Yeah, which is a rarity to have Big Show and Mark Henry run. Especially at the same time, and especially not at food.
Well, unless they wanted to eat each other. If they're both cannibals, they were both running at food.
That'd be a food fight.
Haha. But yeah, so they beat the hell out of each other, but it ends pretty quickly with the fact that Big Show decides to scoop slam Mark Henry 3 times.
Soup?
You're still talking about food.
Yeah, I'm hungry now. Scoop Slam City, bitch.
Scoop Slam City. Scoop slams him 3 times.
He's gonna take Brock Lesnar.
Scoop Slam City.
He's gonna scoop slam Brock Lesnar 15 times.
I'd watch that for $9.99. But yeah, he ends up after slamming him the 3rd time.
Show ever.
He sets up, runs across the ring, and punches Mark Henry in the face, and picks up the win after the knockout punch.
It's kind of like getting punched by a train with an arm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair. We had Miz TV with Charlotte and Becky Lynch. kind of going over the issues with Paige from last week. And Miz, being Miz, was a little too pushy.
And he was excited to have all the drama on the Miz TV.
Of course he was. But eventually, it turned into not his show anymore.
Yeah, well, Charlotte and Becky commandeered Miz TV for a moment.
Yeah, Becky taking Miz's microphone and chucking it up the ramp. And Charlotte pretty much said, you know what, here's the thing. Paige, you have two options. Either you're going to come out here, you're going to talk to me face-to-face like a woman, or I'm going to come back there, find you, and we're going to throw down.
What are you saying, Charlotte? Men don't talk face-to-face? Huh?
Well, no, there was an anonymous complaint against Kane.
That's true. Fair enough.
So,
alright.
But instead of Paige, Team Bella ends up coming out.
Which is a lot different because it's 3 instead of 1.
And it's black and orange instead of pale white.
Yes.
They end up coming out. Nikki goes on her whole...
It's like a Halloween advertisement.
A little bit. Yeah. It's almost October, so... Nikki starts saying that, oh, Charlotte, you don't realize that, this isn't about Paige, this is about me, because eventually I'm going to get a rematch and you're going to lose your title and I'm going to be Divas Champion again. And then
which I'm going to say is absolutely true. Nikki will get her rematch and Charlotte will lose her title. Not at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, both of those things are true statements.
That's true.
Charlotte's not going to be champion forever.
Of course.
And Nikki does have a rematch clause.
That's fair. Charlotte gets really passionate here for a second, saying that, you know what, here's the thing. Here's where you and Paige are both wrong, is that this isn't about you, it's not about Paige, it's not about who started the revolution, it's about the fact that all these fans here, all the people at home watching on TV, all believe in us. This should be about us believing in us and making, the Divas division relevant again.
I almost feel like at that point Nikki Bella had a look on her face that said, I know you're right, but I'm also a complete bitch.
And so then Foxy decides to get in on this, and she goes, well, here's the thing. 3 is greater than 2, and Becky's like, oh, Foxy, you can count. Now tomorrow we'll work on reading.
Eventually, Paige makes her way out to the ring.
Yeah, and then things get a little confusing.
Well, they got a little dicey too, because Paige making a comment about the 2 boyfriends.
Yeah.
And well,
I thought that was great.
Team Bella took offense to that.
Yeah. It ends up being just a huge brawl. And then
all the chairs are pushed over.
Yeah, and then we get Trippy Longed again. Now, Team PCB is back together.
Yes.
Not necessarily... Not on the same page.
Let's say slightly reluctantly.
Yeah. Paige made a lot of faces. Becky Lynch was the one that pretty much took the beating through most of this match. Paige had a look on her face like, what the hell, Becky? Why...
Well, a big bit of frustration that Paige had during this match is like Paige was only in the match one time.
Yes.
And then Charlotte and Becky would repeatedly tag in and out with each other.
Yeah, well...
So they're kind of leaving her out.
Yeah, well, obviously after the things she said last week, I wouldn't trust Paige either. Well, never mind. So things start breaking down here. They're kind of working together for a bit here, and then
it's the whole enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, exactly. So no one likes Team Bella, so it makes some sort of cohesion as far as Team PCB goes. But when Nikki unfortunately kind of screws things up for Team PCB by shoving Charlotte into Paige, knocking Paige off the apron, Paige is like, alright, well, fuck this. If she's going to do that, I'm out. She starts stomping up the ramp, Natty makes her way down, and she pretty much says, you know what, Paige, if you're not going to be out there and stand up for this team, I'm going to go down there. So Natty actually tries to take Paige's place in the match to help out Becky and Charlotte. Paige doesn't let that happen. She pulls Natty off the apron, beats up Natty on the outside.
Becky's like, what the hell are you doing? And Paige was like, I'm leaving.
Yeah. And then Charlotte is distracted by the whole situation. She ends up getting hit with the rack attack. And even though Becky tries to break up the pin, Brie is there to stop her. And Nikki Bella pins Charlotte, giving the win to Team Bella. So yeah, we got some interesting things going on in the Divas division.
It's one of the longest matches of the night.
Yeah. Probably is. Other than Reigns and, well, I get the match itself, that match itself wasn't all that long, but we'll get to that in a second. So then we have Seth Rollins talking to Ashley, letting her know that, you know, the Kane that you see isn't the real Kane. Kane's got something about him.
And it's like, and we need to figure out a way to take care of
Kane! And Kane shows up and
he's got a big red box with a black bow on it.
He says, "You know what? It's been an absolute pleasure to be along with you on this ride to you being to the top of WWE. Winning Money in the Bank, winning the championship,
burning Suplex City down.
Burning Suplex City to the ground." And, you know, Kane has just been proud.
Which kudos to the civilians of Suplex City for recovering so quickly from that devastating fire.
Yeah. And Kane is just so appreciative of being able to be there with Seth on this ride that he got him a present.
Yes.
And this was my favorite part of the night because if you haven't seen the movie Seven, you probably didn't get it. But if you have, I hope you were laughing as hard as I was because Seth goes, "What's in the box, Kane? Kane, what's in the box?" He opens the box, and it's the head of his statue that Sting destroyed. I was losing it. I thought this is the funniest shit. And then
So said, I said, "Where did you get this?" And Kane's like, "Well, I went down to the landfill in Baltimore and dug it out."
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing what a guy can do with a flashlight and a shovel.
The first thing when he pulls it out, and Kane goes, "It's your severed head." Oh my god, this whole segment was just fucking priceless. Seth ends up getting really freaked out and doesn't want anything to do with the head.
At first, I feel like he was a little bit like surprised and like grateful.
He's like, "Oh, my statue."
Yeah, or like what's left of it. And he's like, "Wait a minute, though. This has got to be some sort
This
of
is foreboding."
Yeah.
That's right.
Seth freaked out and took off without his championship belt, by the way.
Yeah, just left it back there. He's like, "I'm out. I'm done."
And Kane delivered well, you know what they say, 2 heads are better than 1.
I forgot.
And he tried to put the Seth Rollins head like on his shoulder.
I forgot about that part. Oh, good lord. We had the Wyatt family, Luke Harper and Braun Strowman taking on the Primetime Players. This did not last long either.
No.
It might have lasted longer if our feed didn't cut out.
Yeah.
But Sky Sports was a little wonky.
Sorry for the temporary fault.
Yeah. Thanks for the apology, though. We appreciate that.
Hey, you Canadians are so polite.
But pretty much what we saw was Titus and Darren had no idea what to do with Braun Strowman.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, like, the whole time we saw, Braun Strowman was on the outside, and for some reason they kept trying to fucking go after Braun Strowman on the outside.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad enough you have Luke Harper in the ring, but why are you trying to go against the even stronger Braun Strowman who's not the legal man?
Yeah.
Quit trying to hit that guy.
Yeah, Darren ends up getting choked over the ropes, and Titus kind of saves him by knocking him to the floor. But then Luke ends up taking out Titus, tags in Braun, and Braun chokes Titus out, and the Wyatt family get the win via submission/choke/death.
Oh, he's not dead.
No. Then we had Neville versus Stardust, which ended in disqualification because we had the return of King Barrett, who got attacked by Stardust the night after SummerSlam.
Yeah, this was one of the few things in a long time in Monday Night Raw that actually kind of surprised me.
Yeah. I definitely wasn't expecting him to be back this soon. For those of you that know the behind-the-scenes stuff, he was shooting a movie recently, which is the reason for being taken out by Stardust. Yeah, he gets in and is making a beeline for the ring. Stardust ends up shoving Neville into the first bull hammer, which technically gives Neville the win by disqualification. But then he stalks Stardust and actually steps on his ankle, and Stardust is like, "We were a team! We were a team! I need you!" And so Barrett kind of goads him in by holding out his hand and picking up Stardust, only to hit him with a bull hammer as well. And so I'm kind of interested where this puts Barrett and what direction this takes him, because, I mean, he didn't have much of a direction post SummerSlam. So yeah, I'm interested as to where this sends him. So, all right, so we have the culmination here. Ashley is ready to give her assessment of Kane's job.
Her assessment.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
She is ready to decide whether or not Kane is fit to be director of operations. Before she's able to say her piece,
she had to see Kane do a lot of exercises to make sure he was fit.
Thanks. Before she's able to give her assessment of his job, Seth comes out and says, "You don't understand. The person you're standing in the ring with is not the real Kane." And so he shows this video package.
Like, this is the real Kane, and it's a bunch of Kane.
It's masked Kane just doing a bunch of terrible shit to Zack Ryder and John Cena, and I think there was even a shot of him chokeslamming Shane McMahon. There's just all kinds.
Chokeslamming people through the stage, pushing people off the ramp.
Yeah.
Tombstoning, dragging people through the ring to hell.
Yeah.
Laughing maniacally.
Yeah. Which is the Kane we all know.
And love.
Absolutely. But Kane says, you know what? Seth is a very passionate man, and sometimes it gets the best of him, like this. And then we see Seth Rollins being a complete and utter asshole to Kane.
Corporate Kane.
For the past few months leading into and post WrestleMania, and all ultimately leading up to Kane getting injured and being out for the last couple months. And so this leads to Ashley saying that Kane is pretty much the perfect WWE employee.
Can we backtrack a little bit?
Sure.
Because I want to mention Seth Rollins and his meeting with the Pope.
Oh God. Okay, yeah, go for it.
And Seth Rollins is going to heaven.
Because apparently, while the Pope was in the United States, he had an audience with Seth Rollins, and he told Seth Rollins to his face that he is going to heaven.
Yeah.
Well, if the Pope said it, it must be true. So yeah,
One point for the Pope.
He's a freaking Pope.
And Pope Francis, he gets a lot of points in my book, actually.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. That's from my other channel, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist.
So yeah, Ashley pretty much says that Kane is the perfect WWE employee. Yeah. He's kind, he's diligent, he does his job very well, and he is absolutely fit to do his job. If anyone needs to be assessed and needs to, be removed from their job, it's Seth Rollins, because, to put it short and sweet, he's an asshole.
Yeah, he's narcissistic, he's condescending, he's mean, he's paranoid, he's delusional, a lot of other negative descriptive words.
So Seth storms down to the ring, Ashley leaves, and now we'll talk about the referee. She goes off to the left side of the camera. The referee runs around and gets her, and then walks back to the timekeeper's area, and they both disappear.
Yep.
They're gone.
They're doing the hanky-panky behind the ring bell.
Good for you, ref. But Seth gets in Kane's face, starts shoving him around, and ends up dropping the title after shoving it into Kane's chest. And Kane kind of gets this you just did that, didn't you? And he's like, now you know what? I'll be nice. Reaches down to grab the belt.
Boom!
Kane ends up getting hit with a pedigree.
Seth, that was a brilliant trap.
and then he goes out and gets
I'm
a chair.
I'm gonna drop things in front of people more often.
So you can hit him with pedigrees?
Yeah.
Might blow out your knees.
That's fine.
You're almost as bad as Kevin Nash.
Well, here's the thing, is I'm gonna do it differently. Every time I do this, I'm wearing a backpack, and inside will be a 20-pound bag of pedigree dog food. When they bend down to pick up the thing I dropped, I'm just gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna hit him with the pedigree.
Seth ends up going out and grabbing a chair, beats the crap out of Kane's leg. I don't think it was the actual one that was injured.
No,
but,
I'm fairly certain it was the exact opposite of the leg that was injured.
But we'll let it fly. He ends up doing...
I ain't letting it fly. That's Dean Ambrose's job.
Oh, sorry. We'll let it slide?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
No?
Yeah, that works. I was gonna say that's Randy Orton's job, but no, he slithers.
Yeah, slither. Yeah, we'll let it slide. He pretty much takes Kane out. Kane gets put on a stretcher, and Seth continues to talk shit, saying that, it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, if you step in the ring with Seth Rollins, you're going to get what you deserve.
Yeah, and Kane can't play games with Rollins.
Yeah,
it just ain't gonna work.
So the whole time he's talking, Kane is being carted out. He gets put in the back of an ambulance. The ambulance starts to take away and then stops abruptly. But Seth doesn't realize this.
Yeah, he's still blah 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 blah. I'm Seth Rollins. I got a big nose. I got a statue head.
He said all those things. So the camera's on Seth, and then the camera goes back to the ambulance, which now is filled with smoke, and there's an eerie red lighting in there. The door opens up.
High.
The door opens up, and Demon Kane is now completely dressed and is still limping, and he's like trying to get. He's walking towards Gorilla, gets about halfway down the hallway, and then just stomps really hard, and you can almost kind of hear like a snap of like the ankle going back into place or something.
Yeah, he's setting his broken leg.
And then he monster storms his way down to the ring and proceeds to scare the shit out of Seth Rollins.
Yeah, well, I love how it was obvious that Kane was going right back to the entrance ramp, but then when his music hits, Seth Rollins starts circling around the ring looking
He's just
down.
waiting for him to pop out of hell again. He's like, where is he? He can't.
Kane gets to the ring, Rollins hits him with a chair in the leg, which Kane basically no-sells.
Yeah.
And
He
then
ain't putting up with that shit.
proceeds to beat up Seth Rollins.
Yes.
Oh.
Seth ends up running away, leaving the championship in the ring, and Kane gestures that he wants to be the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and Seth don't like it. Too bad, you fucked up.
Should have been nicer to Kane.
Yes. Then we have Bray Wyatt tell Roman that he's granting his request. He will leave Luke Harper and Braun Strowman behind, and that only a fool would think he could look into the dragon's eyes and not get burned.
Yeah, well, he's got to leave Strowman and Harper in the back. They're tired from trying to have a match with the primetime players.
They're tired from swatting flies.
Yeah. Well, it takes a lot to carry Titus O'Neil.
Yeah.
Darren Young's exhausted most of the time.
And we have Randy Orton versus Bo Dallas. This one did not go very long either.
Not that you would expect any different, though.
It's true. I think Bo...
I was wrong. I'm just going to come out and say it straight up. I was not correct about the outcome of this match.
He thought Bo was going to win?
I thought Bo was going to take it. I thought it was basically just going to dominate Randy Orton.
He did not.
Mm-hmm.
No, Randy Orton made very quick work beating Bo with an RKO. Go figure.
Was it out of nowhere?
No, this one was pretty blatant.
Alright. Randy Orton wins with an RKO out of somewhere.
Yes. Then we had a grudge match from what happened on SmackDown. Owens taking on Rusev after Owens walked out on Rusev in their tag team match against Ryback and Ziggler.
Yeah. What I like about Owens and Rusev is this is not the first time they've been on opposite ends of a match. And even though they're both heels.
Yeah.
But these guys, as heels, continuously have different grievances with each other.
Yes.
Usually all spawning from Owens walking out on tag team matches with Rusev.
Yeah. This one doesn't last very long either. because Ryback is a commentary,
The Ryback.
and Owens ends up throwing Rusev into Ryback. Ryback and Rusev end up fighting, so technically Owens wins by disqualification. Then
Well,
it turns.
if Ryback and Rusev start fighting, Rusev would win by disqualification.
Oh, you're right. What he said.
I thought Ryback won by disqualification because the bell rang. The bell rang after Kevin Owens hit Ryback.
Oh, okay.
So Ryback won because Kevin Owens interfered in his commentary.
Oh, how dare he. It turns into a 2-on-1 beatdown on Ryback. Ziggler makes a save, and nothing really happens afterwards. So we're probably going to get a rematch of the tag team match.
Ooh.
Yay.
I hope they swerve it and they make it Rusev and Ryback versus Owens and Ziggler.
We're going to get a fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental title.
Inside Hell in a Cell.
Probably not.
Damn.
We had Paul Heyman come out and try and put
Do
over
it.
the Brock Lesnar Big Show match coming up this Saturday. I still don't really care.
Heyman could put over a paper bag.
Yeah. See, I appreciate Paul Heyman's attempt, but I still don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not excited for Big Show versus Paul Heyman.
But he's not good against Paul Heyman, unfortunately.
Well, he tried to in this, and
Sort of.
it didn't help push the match at all. A match that I'm already not excited for.
To me, it did.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
Because Heyman was doing his usual, I'm Paul Heyman, I like to talk, I like to gloat about how good Lesnar is, yada yada yada, nothing you say will change my mind, blah 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 blah. And then Big Show asked the question, was Brock Lesnar upset when he found out he had to fight me at Madison Square Garden? And Heyman went quiet.
True, Heyman didn't say anything after that.
Yeah.
Heyman ended up walking away.
Yeah, Big Show just kind of kept goading this point, like, hey, remember, I was the one guy who really squashed Lesnar back in the day. I was the first guy to really expose a chink in Brock Lesnar's armor. History's going to repeat itself, Paul. And Paul kind of got that, like, holy crap, he could be onto something look on his face and tried to leave. And Big Show's like, hey, stopped him for a second, said some more crap, and then Heyman started to leave. And it was kind of like, yeah, you know what? I'm a little bit more sold on this match. Basically because I know it's not going to be like the last time they were against each other.
It's not going to be Royal Rumble 2014.
Mainly because this go-around, they're booking Brock Lesnar as the face in this storyline.
So we can't expect him to just whoop the shit out of Big Show with a chair.
Yeah.
Thank God, because if I had to sit through that shit again,
I'm just going to say, Royal Rumble 2014 was just a huge debacle in its own right.
That's true. Then we had our main event. We had what was supposed to be the final encounter of the Shield versus the Wyatts, or Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. But this broke down pretty quick. They did beat the fuck out of each other. Actually, this whole segment, they beat the fuck out of each other.
Yes.
Their slams were all excessively just vicious. There was a lot of intensity in this match. It ends up ending in a double countout as they're just continuously beating the crap out of each other on the outside, going out into the crowd multiple times.
They threw the tech guy in the blue shirt.
Yeah, he took a hell of a bump out there on that concrete. So
Yeah.
kudos to that guy.
Well, he didn't have much of an option.
No.
He was like flying normally like a person would fly, but he ran into a Roman Reigns.
Oh. And then
Those are very solid.
they end up going through a different side of the barricade there. It's the wall that kind of acts as a walkway from the timekeeper's table into the audience, which is usually where like the commentators leave at the end of Raw. They end up going through that, and then Bray was actually the one that caused that whole thing. He actually put Roman through the wall. This is all setting up for the table's already been torn apart. There's stairs sitting there.
That's the part that I appreciated it so much.
Is that they set it up and then they just left it there.
Yeah, is they set it up perfectly without making it seem obvious what was going to happen.
Yep.
Because like 5 minutes before this even happened, Bray Wyatt hurled the top set of stairs at Roman Reigns and missed.
Mm-hmm.
But into place for him to climb up the stairs onto the commentary table.
I think Roman ended up moving out of the way, and I think he ended up like shoving him to the side and going after Wyatt. That's when he knocked him over into the crowd the first time. So the stairs are sitting there. Bray goes up. He's posing on top of the table. This allows Roman Reigns to get back up, run up the stairs, and spear Bray Wyatt through the announce table. And that's how we go off the air for Monday Night Raw. So
Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns cuddling in front of the commentators.
yes, very gingerly. They love each other. Roman Reigns is actually going to turn on Dean Ambrose, join the Wyatt family now.
Nope. Bray Wyatt's going to leave the Wyatt family, and Roman Reigns is going to leave Dean Ambrose. And Bray and Roman are going to get married.
They're going to be the Schwyatts.
They're going to get married. And they're going to be the Schwyatts, which is a Jewish name. Happy Hanukkah, guys.
An interesting Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Some lackluster ends, lots of wonky finishes. I'm hoping this sets the table for some interesting stuff for Hell in a Cell.
Like every match being inside Hell in a Cell.
I still don't want it. That's a you thing.
I know.
If it happens, yay, but I don't want it.
I'm saying I just want to see it one go around.
I do want to see Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt in Hell in a Cell.
See, I think that's going to be a 6-man.
Think so? You think it's going to be Orton this time?
Mm-hmm. Or The Miz.
Fuck that noise. How dare you say something like that?
I'm just going off of The Miz talking about being their partner in Hell in a Cell.
Oh, shit.
When the Wyatt family were on Miz TV.
Oh, well.
Right before Night of Champions.
If it's a 6-man, fucking Miz ruined that before Night of Champions, so fuck you, Miz. But thanks for watching the Raw Review. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe. Click all them links down there.
Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and emails. There's 2 of them. So click both of them.
Yeah, there's fanstalkwrestling@gmail.com where you can talk to all of us.
Kevin_Hawk636 at hotmail.com and talk to me because I am the tallest.
Sure.
Which makes me the most important.
Right. And then post down in the comments what you thought about Raw. What do you think about this, the whole Kane storyline? I think...
Do you think it's the best thing ever?
It is pretty fantastic. What did you think about the ending to Monday Night Raw with the brawl between Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns?
I gotta say, between this brawl at the end of Raw and then like last week's Raw where they started with Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt just fighting, yeah, it makes me miss parts of the Attitude Era where there was just a lot of fighting.
They've got a good thing going, and I appreciate it. So keep up the good work. But thanks for watching. Obviously, Thomas Wolfe was not here with us this week, so we'll be pushing the top 5 to next week, where we'll still be in the first week of October, but there will not be one this week. You won't find that in the playlist, but you will find this Raw review. You'll find our midweek wrap-up, our SmackDown rundown, and our indie news. So be sure to wait for those, check them out, share them. We thank you all for liking, viewing, sharing, and reblogging all of those videos. Retweeting, all that stuff.
Liking all the pictures that we put on the Facebook.
Thank you all.
I'm seeing a lot of them likes.
It's awesome.
People liking
we
the
appreciate
pictures we putting up.
And we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.